She was a 19th century English countess, but her nobility isn't what she's remembered for. It's her role as a tech visionary and her contributions towards the first ever programmable machine, with some considering her the world's first computer programmer.
Their contributions made the world a better place. This is Women Who Made a Difference.
For several decades, women have fought for greater leadership in the tech industry. Well, today, we're going to tell you the story of a woman who was there from the beginning. A woman who made a difference. A woman some call the first computer programmer. Now, when we think of computer programming, who comes to mind? Alan Turing, Grace Hopper, Steve Wozniak? And even if you struggle to think of a few famous computer programmers, you'd probably never think to look for one in the 1800s. Let's turn the clock back and head back into the 19th century to learn the story of the first woman in tech, Ada Lovelace. Ada was an English mathematician and a writer. Her father was a poet, Lord Byron, and she was born in 1815 in London. As she grew up, Ada developed a love for learning very early in her life. In her quest for knowledge, she once said, "The more I study, the more insatiable do I feel my genius for it to be." Well, destiny had young Ada on a path to meet a man whose ideas changed the world, the polymath Charles Babbage. He was accomplished in a great many things and was an inventor, mathematician, mechanical engineer, and philosopher. Charles Babbage is considered an important figure in the history of computing, and he's often referred to as the father of the computer. He designed two mechanical machines in the 1800s, the difference engine and the analytical engine. These machines were intended to be general-purpose computing devices that could perform a wide range of calculations automatically. However, Babbage's machines were never completed, and they were not built using electronic components. Therefore, they're not considered the first computers in the modern sense of the term. Those wouldn't come along till the 1940s and 50s, but those were based on the work of many other scientists and engineers who built upon Charles Babbage's ideas and innovations. And here's where Ada Lovelace comes into the story. She's often considered the first computer programmer because she wrote algorithms for the Analytical Engine, which were intended to be processed by the machine. While attending a party at the home of Charles Babbage in 1833, she was introduced to him, and the two struck up a conversation in which 18-year-old Ada charmed the 41-year-old Babbage. It was obvious to Babbage that Ada possessed an inquisitive intellect, so he decided to invite her and her mother back to see his recently completed prototype of the difference engine. Lovelace, who had a quest for knowledge, took a keen interest in the potential and would quickly be corresponding with Charles about his work. Now, at the time Charles Babbage showed Ada and her mother the prototype of the difference engine, he was already working on the design of another machine, one that would be far more capable, the Analytical Engine. It might best be described as a steam-powered programmable machine. Over the course of several years, Lovelace corresponded frequently with Babbage and contributed, some believe significantly, to his efforts to design the Analytical Engine. In addition to writing algorithms for the machine, she also wrote extensively about the potential applications of the Analytical Engine and the ways in which it could be used to perform a wide range of calculations and operations. The Analytical Engine was designed to be operated using punched cards, which were used to input data and instructions into the machine. It was also designed to be able to store and retrieve data using a memory system, similar to the way modern computers use a hard drive or other storage device. And the Analytical Engine was designed to be able to perform a wide range of calculations and operations, including addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. It was also going to be able to perform more complex operations, such as sorting data and solving equations. One of the most famous examples of Lovelace's work on the Analytical Engine is a set of instructions that she wrote for the machine to compute Bernoulli numbers, which are a type of mathematical sequence. These instructions, which are now known as Lovelace's program, were the first example of a computer program in the modern sense of the term. Although a tech visionary, her program was never actually run because the analytical engine was never completed. Writing about the potential of the analytical engine, combined with instruction sets, Ada said, "A new, a vast, and a powerful language is developed for the future use of analysis, in which to wield its truths so that these may become a more speedy and accurate practical application for the purposes of mankind than means hitherto in our possession have rendered possible. Thus, not only the mental and the material, but the theoretical and the practical in the mathematical world are brought into more intimate and effective connection with each other." She certainly grasped the concept of Charles Babbage's machine. She saw the potential to do much more than just performing calculations, and she wrote detailed notes on how it could be used to create music, art, and even more complex calculations. These notes, which are considered the first published algorithm intended for implementation on a machine, are considered a pioneering work in the field of computer science. Ada Lovelace is often referred to as the first programmer because of her contributions to the field of computer science. In addition to her work on the Analytical Engine, she also wrote extensively about mathematics and science, and she was a passionate advocate for the education of women in these fields. Despite her many accomplishments, Ada Lovelace's contributions were largely unrecognized during her lifetime. It was not until the late 20th century that her work was rediscovered, and she was recognized as a pioneering figure in the field of computer science. Although some historians try to downplay her contributions to the work of Charles Babbage and his Analytical Engine, most people celebrate Ada Lovelace as a trailblazer and an important figure in the history of technology. She was a woman who made a difference.